Hello there, folks. Coming back with one of my favorites, giving it a bit of a facelift and updating things, getting them a little bit cleaner for current day and something a little faster and up to date. So Pirates is the one tribe where you don't have to overextend, but if you do, it's great, but you don't have to overextend, which makes it a pretty cool tribe. It's more the tricky tribe. It wins through certain tricks, as you know, probably generally through the blue-black version or mono-blue versions. Pirates tend to have a lot of tricks. We're playing red-black version, where we're going to beat down and we're going to use our tricks to hit them harder. So, where do we go with that? Bit of a facelift for a couple pieces, so I'll note. The Raid 1/1 first striker, that, Raid said basically +1/+1 counter. So in this case, I just switched it out with a 1/1 unblockable changeling. I found that this was just a better case overall, where a lot of times the first striker, although it was cool kind of defensively, we're not playing the defensive game all that much. We're trying to win as fast as humanly possible, and most situations, if it calls for a race, we're going to race first. So this is probably a better scenario. Keep the damage flowing overall. Grasping Scoundrel still here because it's still a Savannah line, sort of. This is probably the next one on the block. Let's just face facts. It's not doing that much, but its 2 power does keep it around for now. So since it's a little bit more consistent than the Raid guy, sure, no problem. This one is a 2/2 for 1, pretty much straight up in this deck. So yeah, we're going to keep that around. Fanatical Firebrand is just Mog Fanatic and is spectacular, controlling the board. We moved the lightning strikes to play with fires. I figured that's a good way to still go face while still maintaining where we could want to fire it off a little earlier to make sure that we keep the gas going. Direfleet Poisoner is probably one of the best pirates ever. Actually, most of the 2-drops are. Kari Zev and Direfleet Captain each have their own tricks. This is the best thing to hold an Embercleave with its Death Touch, so that it's basically a pseudo unblocked at all times, and real good that way. And it'll take down any creature ever. Kari Zev is just that means to facilitate an Embercleave, where it's 2 creatures in 1, where you can turn 3 in Embercleave without breaking a sweat. So real good that way. Direfleet Captain is the go wide plan, if you were, where if you are able to play to the board and extend pretty heavily, then this is the card that rewards you for that plan. So beyond that, we have Fell Flagship. It used to be the 4-mana lord that gave +2/+0 to attacking pirates. I figured that we should probably play a little bit more of the tricky plan again. Our opponents are playing removal decks a little bit more than than in the past. So I figure we should probably play one of these instead. Cards that can crew them. Not all of these can crew them, obviously. Direfleet Poisoner, Direfleet Captain, and Daring Buccaneer are the ones that can do it straight up with the Lord effect in play of Crew 3. Beyond that, obviously, you're going to have to do multiple crews. But it's still a Lord effect, and like if you need to, if your opponent board wipes, you can just go with more pirates, crew in, immediately attack. Also, really cool to boot up an Embercleave on this, because you force them to you unburden them. Take 2 cards right out of your hand. That's a fun one too. So yeah, those are options. Mana base and historic still sucks for Rakdos, so we've got all of these, and we're trying to just make our colors on time. We're very color intensive for the most part. We need to hit double red early while still hitting 1-drops of black. So yeah, by turn 3 we have to have that, so that's why Haunted Ridge is still a card that we want in a very, very aggro deck. So that's where we're at with this. Hope you guys enjoy the gameplay, and I'll see you at the end of the whole line there. Okay, we're on the play. This looks pretty aggro. Guess Grasping Scoundrel's a good old high power play. Our opponent, Cleric class. That's a good sign for us. Well, not really. We're going to draw up Kari, swing in. Direfleet Poisoners versus Pridemate deck is a spectacular card. Spectacular. Hallowed Priest is a card that exists in Magic. We're going to just swing in. Fair trades against any of their Pridemates is good. Okay. We have to get some extra cards out here anyway, since we didn't pull the lands for Embercleave. So we got a 2-lander Embercleave here now available. This is a card that does something. It gains life. And then Speaker of the Heavens, which is never, ever going to activate. Ever. I'm just going to go with the Poisoner, because Poisoner is the best target for an Embercleave, if I could ever have one. You can't block it. Death Touch and Double Strike. And Trample. Okay, opponent plays some more cards that don't do anything. Again, none of them ever activate. Fanatical Firebrand. Okay, so we play this one to make life complicated for our opponent. Let's try and make this a non-Embercleave win as much as possible, because that's fun to do. Well, I mean, we'll probably throw it down when we need to do the lion's share of the damage, but whatever. Our opponent says, cool. Does any of this stuff do anything that I care about? No. Pass the turn. Our opponent. Another Speaker of the Heavens. It's not doing much here. Is just going to simply pass the turn. To which we say, cool. Swing, 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 swing. Well, 4, 5. Grasping Scoundrel is a block. Speaker of the Heavens are going to both trade off here. We can jam an Embercleave now to try and save it. I suppose that's a possibility. Does make things tougher for the opponent, for sure. Yeah, why not? We'll save our creature. Okay. And therefore. Is this the one with Wrath of God in their deck? We'll see. Nope. Alright. Yeah, tried to downplay Embercleave a little bit there. Still fine. Yeah, proper interaction. And that's that. Okay, we're on the play. We have all 2 drops. Luckily, we're on the play, so we can work with that. Okay. So probably a Kari Zev opener or a Direfleet Captain. And, well, I suppose, yeah, either one will do. Chances are when our opponent just passes the turn, Kari Zev with a nice 3 toughness ought to slow them down a little bit. Nullify that turn a little bit. Let's see where they go with this. Grim Initiate. And Haunted Ridge is a nice, easy way to not reveal anything via Blood Crypt. Alright. Swing in. Grim Initiate does cause an issue with the monkey. I don't want to knock it down. I think a Direfleet Poisoner is quite an acceptable means to remove it. Our opponent's leaving a shock open at all times. Not sure why. I feel like they've got a good plan, but I think Direfleet Poisoner is a better plan for us. We definitely want to leave mana open where they're leaving mana open. So we'll hold open with our tricks. Let's see where they go with this. Grim Initiate's a really good blocker against the monkey. So if they're racing, that is certainly a thing. That is pretty bad for us. Alright. Resolve. Alright, that's a freebie. Sweet. Okay. I suppose that makes for a nice ability to swing in here. That's what we want. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, no. All right. All right. So they didn't do anything. We're going to just drop everything, and we'll save this shock in case they are going to try and push the Spitfire up. Not specifically to knock the Spitfire up, but to knock the token down. That is a card that certainly exists. Player or Planeswalker? That is me. Yes, you did it. Cavalcade Calamity, sure. We're just gonna pop that off right now. And that should win us the game on the crackback. Mostly included in the Direfleet Captain, in this case, is how I mean. Yep. All face. You can block the Direfleet Poisoner or the monkey. Right. Easy peasy. Once again, Ragavan's screwing up everyone's plans. Just as good as Modern. And he's just a token. Alright, so we have cards. Yeah, definitely. I think based on the cards, I suppose I can start with Swamp. It's no big deal, but it's probably going to be a Shocked Blood Crypt regardless. Our opponent's playing a removal spell as a land. That doesn't give me a lot of faith in how this game's going to go. So let's make sure this game is going to go fast with an Embercleave. Let's hope it goes real fast. Equal to the number of creatures you control. Interesting. Alright. Well, that much damage is coming down on you. How good, Soul Warden? Right. It's that good. It is that good. Another Soul Warden. Yeah, a lot of this. Another deck that basically hates on us. This is something, you know, like we're basically a red deck wins. And so, yeah. Oh, piss off. Alright, enough's enough. I wanted to use the monkey for some extra Embercleave power on the Direfleet Captain, but I can't have that, so whatever. Okay, well, opponent's thinking that keeping it around's a good idea, so whatever. So here's the trap. Embercleave is on Grasping Scoundrel right now. Trellisara is there. Direfleet Captain's off to the side. The obvious block is Grasping Scoundrel, leaving quite the trap here that our opponent is not aware of. What about second Embercleave? We want to keep this one. Boom, boom. Direfleet Captain's here to end games fast against linear decks. Okay, so deck we went up mostly against fairly linear decks today. It is what it is. Yeah, I was surprised at the efficacy against Pridemate decks. Been traditionally a pain point for the deck, so maybe we drew a little okay, maybe they drew a little not. Possible there. Yeah, definitely plays low enough to the ground that the Cavalcade of Calamity is not a problem, so that was also a thing. I'm glad for that. But I did run into off camera. There were a lot of dogs barking. I had gone up against a sacrifice deck that was confused and thought it belonged in the play queue. Yeah, that's obviously just a terrible, terrible, terrible matchup. I don't have to go without saying. It goes without saying. If you're a creature deck and you're going up against the sacrifice deck, come on. Yeah, terrible matchup. So here we are with this. Yeah, all right. Hope you guys enjoyed regardless. It's definitely some aggro. You want to play some aggro and you want to play some tribal. This will definitely be a deck that'll cover you. All right, take care and bye-bye.